Today we'll be swinging a Wilbert Monticello in beautiful Putnam County, Indiana. The first step of the process is to get the vault from the top of the truck onto the ground. With the dirt pile being in the way, I decided to spin the vault so the hill joy wouldn't come out on the side with the dirt pile and get stuck. Once it's safe and sound on top of the platform, we can add our green runner carpets and start adding our equipment. The first piece of equipment is called the feet. The feet are what hold the cables and the reels which suspend the vault above the grave. Each cable gets reeled up 8 times on each end. This ensures that the vault base is lifted up in a level manner. Over time, the cables get kinked and bent, so it's important to leave a little slack just in case when the vault is lifted, it needs to be leveled. We can simply let out some of the slack to level out the base of the vault. The one-man bar connects both sets of feet. This allows us to crank from one end and have both ends of the vault raise and lower evenly. Once we remove our blocks and one aluminum board, we can set the vault down on the remaining 2 aluminum boards and swing the vault. We call this process swinging the vault because it's the step that ensures that the vault is sitting directly over the grave. If it's off to one side or off to one end, we can adjust our feet and our cables and swing the vault either direction that it needs to go. It's also called swinging because once the aluminum boards are removed, the vault is suspended in the air, and if you push on it, it will swing from side to side and end to end. Our next step is attaching our lid rails and our lid carriers. These pieces of equipment is what allows us to separate the base from the lid. These lid rails hook onto the feet themselves. It's the weight of the base of the vault that allows the lid to be rolled back and not flip over. This vault weighs around 2,600 pounds and the cover is just over 1,000 pounds. So it's important that the vault base is not sitting up against one side of the grave, allowing for some pressure which may let the lid lean back and lift one set of the feet. Having everything centered is pivotal in the setup process. Each lid carrier has 2 rollers that sit directly on top of the rails. This is what allows us to roll the lid backwards once the lid is separated from the base. Once we ensure that all 4 wheels are on the rails, we can lower the base down just beneath the rails. We lower it to this height, that way when we add the lowering device, the pistols can swing freely when lowering the casket. We'll just do a quick cleanup of a liner here. Some of that concrete liquid from the shop was left over. And now we can push the lid back and we're ready to add our lowering device. Now when most people see a Wilbert Way setup, it's a little confusing to think about how the pallbearers would set the casket down on this device. Since there's normally 3 or 4 pallbearers on each side, common sense would say that 4 people would walk down one side of the vault and 4 people would walk down the other. But because this frigid lowering device is designed the way that it is, it allows the pallbearers to simply walk to the end of the vault, set the casket on that first large roller, and use the guide bars to slide the casket across the entire lowering device without anyone having to go on either side of the vault. Once I help the family guide the casket over both sets of rollers and up against the casket brake, I simply lower the casket onto the safety bars while the service takes place. This ensures that if my vault isn't perfectly level, that the casket won't roll to either end while the service takes place. We're next going to add our T-carpets, and we'll add 1 big green carpet. I normally set all of my carpets before I begin my tent, because I base my tent poles off my carpets to make sure it lines up straight. Now the big green carpets are important because it helps keep the chairs from sinking into the ground, and if it's muddy outside, it's better for the family to stand on my carpets than just stand in mud, but they can be a trip hazard. So a few years back, an elderly woman tripped on my carpets, and I wanted to think to myself how I could avoid this from happening. So I went to the shop and grabbed some rebar, and I bent back the last 2 inches of the rebar and created some stakes just like our stakes that help hold the tent down. Now it doesn't completely eliminate the trip factor, but since they're staked down tight to the ground, it's a lot harder to get your toe underneath the edge of the carpet. Now that this vault is fully swung, I can go ahead and finish setting my carpets out, get the tent set up my chairs, add the nameplate, emblem, and banner, and this vault setup will be ready to go for when the family arrives.